I travelled over 10,000 kilometers just to go fishing. But first, the journey. I hopped on a flight from Sydney to Fiji, grabbed some food, and killed some time watching an old Jackie Chan movie. 4 hours later, I landed in Fiji, had a quick stopover, and then jumped on a 10-hour flight to California. Touched down in the heart of winter. Surprisingly, it wasn't too bad. I explored some amazing places, witnessed jaw-dropping sunsets, and even saw squirrels for the first time. Hollywood was a must, so I did the famous hood tour, snapped some photos, and then Bass Pro. This place was unreal. The sheer size of it was insane, packed with everything you could ever need for fishing, hunting, and camping. They even had a man-made pond with trout. Then I found the fish tank, loaded with largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, and even crappies. I think I'm saying that right. The bass even came up to say hello as I took the elevator. Vegas was unforgettable. I saw the LA fires up close. It was like a scene straight out of a movie. The wind was pushing over 160 kilometers per hour, something you don't see every day. Of course, I had to catch an NBA game and check out Disneyland and California Adventure. But now, let's get into the fishing. And stick around because I'll be announcing the giveaway winner at the end of this video from our previous video.
My first largemouth bass. Yes.
Nice.
See? Yes.
Yes, buddy.
Here we are, San Diego, Lower Otay. This is it. We've traveled over 12,000 kilometers to catch one fish. Yeah, that's me.
What's up, man?
Nice to meet you.
See, here. Eric, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Eric. Finally. We're not late, are we?
You gotta key me in on what's going on.
Nice
bud.
to finally
How's it
meet you,
going,
mate.
bud? Yes.
Good to be here.
All the way from Australia.
Over 12,000 kilometers. I'm not sure how many miles that is, but it's a long way.
I'm not even familiar with it.
After you, Eric.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, come on in from that side, and then today we'll have one of you guys sit there, and then I always say somebody sit here. What's the name of that fish that's in all your photos? The one that's in primarily all of them.
They're a yellowfin brim.
Yellowfin brim. And what's the biggest they get? 4 pounds?
Just over 4 pounds, yeah. And they're very similar to your sheephead.
Okay, okay. So is it a saltwater fish?
It's a saltwater fish. They go all the way up to, I wouldn't say completely fresh, but brackish.
Okay, okay.
They're very accessible all over. So we've got river systems that run right through our suburbs, and we can catch them 5 to 10 minutes away from home, which is why everyone targets them. And they're similar to your bass in the terms of that's our tournament species.
Oh, wow. So
yes.
They're all artificial? Like most of the fishing you're doing is
yes.
artificial?
All of the fishing we do is artificial for tournament fishing.
Okay, so you fish out of a kayak?
Yes, I do. I've got a Hobie Pro Angler 14.
Nice.
So I know all about that finesse and, you know.
So you're familiar with the
yes,
stuff?
Definitely.
We're going to be doing some of that today. So, you know, a lot of what we do here in Southern California is that. A lot of finesse techniques. Some guys pick up the big baits and do that, but around here, primarily, if you want to get bit, dude, you got to be good at finesse.
Yep.
If you can dial in some finesse techniques, you'll get bit.
Well, that's why they call me the finesse angler.
Yeah, I noticed that. And then,
you know, a lake like this, I've never seen anything like it before, with all the mountains in the background.
It looks different, so the scenery is a lot different than what you're used to, Abs?
Yeah.
Okay. That's one thing that I wanted to make sure was.
Is it like desert and river?
It's very green compared to this, and the mountains are very different. You've just got some solid mountains with trees instead of like the structure that you see in front of you. This is amazing.
They asked me what I would pick if they told me you can only use one plastic the rest of your life.
Yep.
Seiko.
Okay.
And the reason being, it's do nothing bait. It really does do everything on its own.
Yep.
But the ability to rig this multiple ways is really beneficial.
Okay.
But today we're going to be fishing it like it's intended to fish, and that's going to be weightless.
Yep.
And the reason why it's intended to fish weightless is the action that it imparts. When you add a weight to this, you take away from that.
Yep.
But what happens on the Cinco, it has this pay attention to how this falls. When it hits the water, it's going to land vertically, and then it's going to have this little shimmy to the back end of that tail. I don't know if you can see that right here. Yes, I can see that. You see how that back end of that tail shimmies when it falls? That is all that this bait needs to do to get bit. Okay. 90% of my bites are going to come on that initial fall. Okay. What's going to be important is where you cast this. That is all that is going to be important right here, and it's going to pretty much get bit on its own while it's falling. Okay. We're going to cover the water. We're not going to sit here for 30 minutes. We're going to end up spinning around this whole cove. But as we go through here, I want you guys casting tight to the tulies. That's tight, but I can get even tighter with this. I can cast this bait into the tulies and kind of just wiggle it, pop it off, let it land right on the edge. Okay. And then I have that high vis braid, and you'll start becoming familiar with the rate of fall when this thing's falling. But any subtleties in this line twitching or anything, we're gonna get on them real quick. They're gonna eat it on the fall. So once this thing hits the bottom, you guys are gonna be, it's about 8 to 10 feet up there on the edge of those tulies there. Once this thing is on the bottom, all I'm doing is a slow lift. That lift is honestly just to check and see if I missed any bite that happened. If there's weight, hurry up, set the hook, get them away from those tulies. 7-pound test, there's a balance to what we're going to do as far as fighting them. If they're big, we need to take our time. They usually don't do anything till they get right here. So they might, oh yeah, I don't know, he's not that big here. If this drag isn't backed off at the boat, it's going to snap every time.
So that's 7-pound, is it?
7-pound test. 10-pound braid to 7-pound fluorocarbon leader. So as we go through and you guys are making casts, I'm making the cast, I'm watching the line. I'm already looking over there, seeing where I'm gonna make my next cast. We're just gonna pick this apart, but I cast here, I'm only gonna move 2-3 feet to the left or right. These fish are gonna be sitting right tight to these tulies, and we're just gonna try to hit them in the head. We're not working this back to the boat, so we're gonna be able to burn this right through here.
My first few casts will be a warm up to getting close to the structure with this outfit, so.
That's definitely going to be the most important thing to cast it, or just fishing this bait is, there you go, beautiful, is the cast. Green pumpkins, I feel like you can go anywhere in the world, throw in green pumpkin and actually get bit. Yeah, that's similar to us, but we've got a color called the motor oil. I'm not sure if you guys have. Motor oil is actually an old school color.
Is it? Yeah, that's our most versatile color.
Okay, so like the green watermelon with red flake.
Correct. So anything green, natural looking is very popular.
Look at how big that one is, dude. So I don't know if you're familiar with live sonar.
It's a little bit.
Okay. Little bit. So there's a transducer on this motor here. And it's just basically reading out 80 feet in front of the boat here. And when I scan here, you can see the bottom of the lake. That's a big bass sitting here about 48 feet, almost 50 feet in front of this arrow. So pretty much right on the edge of those tulies. This is the tulies here, and you can see how the bank's kind of climbing up. That fish, there's another one there, but that fish is sitting right on the edge of that tule there. That size of that mark, that looks about 5 pounds. But I am always paying attention to this because this kind of dials me in to certain little things that we might not notice.
Oh, missed the bite.
Talk to me. Tell me what happened.
I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention to the sonar.
And then what happened though?
It was like a little pool.
Okay. So
with these, you can let them eat it.
You let them eat it. They'll actually end up swallowing it down. So, I'm getting bit. Go ahead and be patient. Yeah, he folded you up. Let me fix you up. When that happens, that's a guaranteed bite. When your worm comes back like a knot. Big old grouper. One thing that I feel like is probably similar to what your perch are the bluegill here. The way that we fish for those, like the small little finesse baits. A lot of reaction bait. We do use live bait here and there for them, but I like fishing for them with like little tiny reaction baits. And that's what I've been doing on the BFS. That stuff is so fun. But this lake is just chocked full of bluegill. I feel like there's just too many. Like they eat everything the bass eat, and they're all pretty much a pound. So, I mean, they're definitely competition for the bass too.
Little dude.
He ain't big, but he said, "Hey, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a yank."
Nice.
Yeah.
On the board.
We are on the board.
Yeah, it's like a spongy bite.
Mm.
No taps, no nothing. Just kind of like in
He
place.
was just heavy. He was
Yeah, just
there.
pressure.
Yep.
Pressure.
So that was him just trying to swallow it.
Yeah.
Pressure bite.
I went to Bass Pro, went to the one in Rancho Cucamonga,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and I also went to the one in Vegas.
Oh, you've been all around, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those are fat, like pretty crazy how big and the amount of
I
stuff.
couldn't believe it. Could not believe it.
It's Toys R Us for fishing, right?
Yeah, we have nothing like that in Australia. We have probably a quarter of the size.
No, I could spend all freaking day in there.
Yeah, I did.
Literally, dude.
I left the wife and family and I went there for at least 3 or 4 hours and the time went by like nothing.
Yep.
And the amount of gear, the amount of clothes, the amount of hunting stuff was unreal.
Yeah, it really is somewhere you can spend some time.
Yeah, I was trying to compare our lures to your lures, and obviously, you know, we've got the species that you use, swim baits and bigger lures and stuff, but the worms, we don't use nothing like that in Australia. You might get a couple of people who imitate the States and use that in Australia, but generally you don't get people using that at all. For bass, they use spinner baits, they use crank baits, they use swim baits, and they use top water. So all the frogs and stuff I saw here, definitely saw some frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I tried to find...
fishing?
Oh yeah, we definitely frog fish, but not to your extent. I've seen you get those beds of just I don't know what you guys call them here, but people.
The grass mat?
Yeah, we don't get nothing like that. We get lily pads, but we don't get that thick cover on top where you guys just cast right into it. That's.
And we're gonna go Nico. That's 2 fish before you got one on the Senko.
Yep.
So we're gonna switch it up. And let's throw the Nico. So with this one here, Abs, this is going to be a lot different.
Yep.
We're going to be doing the action on this one.
Okay.
So you're going to impart the action on this one.
Yep. So is that weighted or is that unweighted?
Yeah. So check this out. So there's a little nail weight in the head of this.
Yep.
And what happens is when this falls down, this little tail stands up, but it does fall slowly back down.
Yep.
So in my mind, once this thing hits the bottom, that nail weight hits the ground first.
Yep.
That tail's still sticking up.
Okay.
I give that worm time to just kind of lay down on the bottom.
Yep.
And then once it's down on the bottom, I'll let it sit there for a little bit of time.
Yep.
And then I'll keep my rod at about 10 o'clock and just keep shaking that slack. Just very subtly shake that slack. Because if I move from 10 to 11, you're going to be moving that worm to us.
Yeah.
We just want to keep it in place.
Okay.
And then I'll sit there for another 8 to 10 seconds. And then I'll wait. And then I'll do a little bit more shake.
Okay.
Shake it. 8 to 10 more seconds.
Yep.
Nothing happens. Then I'll kind of move it a little forward and do that again.
Okay. So you're pretty much just dragging it.
Yeah, well, coming down to the next, remember metaphorically, the front yards?
Yes.
You're going to the neighbor's yard.
Yep.
And then you're going to do the same thing again.
Yep.
And then just, after you've done 2 or 3 yards, dude, bring it in, make another cast
Yep.
out. Okay?
Sweet. Thank you.
We're in those areas.
Yeah, like from what I've seen in movies and videos and stuff, I thought here was a lot worse. But I came here, I've averaged 70 miles per hour on every freeway, and I've had cops fly past me. They don't even look twice at you. I actually had an incident. I was driving.
70, 75, you're really not going to get.
In Australia, you can't even do 2 or 3 miles over.
Wow.
If a cop gets you with the radar doing 2 or 3 miles over, he's getting you. He's getting you, and he's going to fine you. And he's going to take points off your license. So we've got on our full license 12 points. And if you lose those points, you lose your license for either 3 to 6 months.
Oh, so you start with 12 points and they get taken away?
Correct.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I had an incident here where I was driving to, what's that national park? Yosemite. I came back from Yosemite and there were people driving so slow in front of me, and I finally found an overtaking lane. So I overtook him and I was doing about 80 miles. Oh, nice. I was doing 80 miles an hour.
Little. You were doing 80?
80 miles per hour, and it was the 55 zone, and there was a cop stopped on the side of the road, and he pulled the guy behind me over, not me. So I'm guessing he would have mistaken him for me.
I got pulled over in Maui a few weeks ago. But I deserved it. I was going pretty fast.
Yeah? How fast?
I think I was going like 50 into 30.
Yeah, you probably did deserve
Yeah, I
that.
deserved
Does it get really hot over there in Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine like super humid.
Oh, very humid.
Yeah.
So
That sucks.
our hottest days would get over 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. And it's like that now, so I had to escape it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I came here, because I'm a winter
now
guy.
It's 100?
Yeah, it would be easily over 100, yeah.
Oh, dang. So winter times is not necessarily cold.
Similar to here. Similar, yeah. Mornings
Snow?
in the mountains, yeah. And the mountains are about
So it's
a
pretty
couple of
similar
hours.
to here.
Yeah. But we've only got like one mountain that snows, and it doesn't snow every single year, so it's, yeah, not as much as here. Over here, you've got everything. You've got the mountains, and then you've got the ocean on one side, and then you've got snow on one side, and then you've got desert on one side. You've got everything.
Yeah.
And I've seen it all. We went to Yosemite, there was snow there. We went to Joshua Tree, desert, complete desert. Amazing place. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, saw the beach before it burnt down. Which one? We went to, was it Malibu?
Yeah.
Yes, Malibu. Yeah,
So
Malibu.
you were there before everything got
Yeah.
toasty?
Yeah, so we're staying in Glendale, which is pretty much on the foot of the mountains that are burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that day that it all started, I was coming back from Vegas, and the winds on the freeway was pushing the car onto the other lane. It was crazy.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy. And we
Wow.
were seeing fires in the background, and you were seeing hay bales fall off the back of the trucks onto the freeway. It was nuts.
I bet you that scared the hell out of you.
Oh, I thought it was Judgment Day.
Something to walk away from here and say you did.
Yeah, there's been some good food. We've tried some really good food around. See, the fast food joints I wasn't really fond of. We tried In-N-Out. It was, from what everyone was telling me, for me it was overrated.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
overrated. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was overrated.
Okay.
It was, oh man. I still remember.
Yep.
it. I'm just like,
There he is.
yeah. Hell
Fish
yeah.
on.
That's what I'm talking about, bud.
I felt that little tick, and boom,
Yep. That's him.
you caught it, Andre. You knew exactly where we were going,
There it is.
and that's
Into the net.
Into the net. Let's land him. And
Yes.
there
my
it is.
first largemouth bass. Yes,
Nice,
See?
dude.
yes.
Yes, buddy. And now we're just warming up. This is just the start
Yep.
of a new beginning.
How good is that? How
Pull
good
him
is
up,
that?
bud. Good job, dude.
Yes.
You gotta send that to Cisco. I got all that on Cassie.
Oh, did ya? How good is that?
Show it up here to this GoPro.
First
Good job.
largemouth bass.
That's him.
How good is that? Gotta be stoked. They're so beautiful. Amazing fish.
Good job, Abs. That's him. And we'll throw him in the live well with the rest of his buddies.
Thank you.
Good job, bud. So you felt the tick?
Yep.
Tick, duke. Good job.
Now that's getting me warmed up.
It's like now I have some faith in myself. I can do this.
Yes.
Let's check out everything. Let me make sure everything's in
Yep.
line.
We gotta do that trip.
Was there yet?
Yeah, so it's so different with the style of fishing we do in Australia. If you miss that tick, you're not catching the fish.
So you got to be quick.
You've got to be quick.
So it's boom, boom. They let it go.
Yep,
Boom, boom. Let it go.
exactly.
That's what Cisco
Exactly.
tells me. He's just like we threw a 4-pound test into like oyster fields.
Oh yeah, that's what we use. By finesse, I mean 4 to 6 pound maximum. 6 pounds too heavy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, into like posts filled with barnacles.
exactly. Yeah,
Stuff.
exactly.
That's fun though.
Oh, it's so fun.
That's
It's
fun.
so fun. And what these fish try to do is try to get you straight back into that structure.
Yeah. That's kind of how San Vicente's set up. There's so much brush, and you got to use light line, or you're not getting bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, super finessey.
Yeah, when I went to Bass Pro, I was looking for finesse lures, and I'm like, oh, there's nothing that we use here, because all our lures, our soft baits,
between 2-inch and 3-inch maximum, and our crankbaits are only about that big.
I had to choose one, dude. I like putting them on a spinning reel and light line and just battling it out. And
Yep.
jumping, putting them down, and the battle lasts about 1 minute.
Yep.
that's a
Best
good
fun.
fight. I'll
Yeah.
never forget it. But I've caught swim bait fish, 9 pounds, and I'll get bit and crank them right to the boat, dude. There's no fight. I want their mouth to fill it with water, and I want to ski them across the top and put them in the net, dude. But you think about that, what's the fun in that?
Exactly,
You know? It's
exactly.
just more so to say, I got this big.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what.
like the battle,
oh.
There he is. I like it all.
Wait a second.
Put it right back on him. You let him eat it this time, huh?
Let him bite, and then I was like, all right.
Woo! Come on in here, buddy. Add you to the pile.
That's why they always tell you in situations, don't panic, because even if you're in the water and you're about to drown, if you panic, you're gonna drown.
Yeah. Yeah, mental is such a big deal.
With everything,
Shit like
with everything, with everything.
Once you
Even
start freaking out,
yes,
you're done.
even in the tournament scene,
Oh, that's a big one.
if you go out there and you've got in your head, all right, I'm not gonna catch nothing, you're not gonna catch nothing.
Right. But then if you get to a point where you're not catching them and you start freaking out, how much does that affect you?
Oh, definitely. Every little thing affects you in the tournament scene, because you get out there and somebody tells you, oh, look, I heard the fish are biting on this corner, and it starts to play games in your head. All right, I had this plan. Now that this guy told me this, should I go and try that? And it will ruin you.
Yeah.
That's why I taught myself never, ever to listen to anything anyone's saying. When I'm out tournament fishing, you stick to your plan. Stick to your plan. You've made that plan. You've thought of that plan from nothing, and there's a reason why I went with that plan. This is my experience, and this is what I'm gonna go out there, and this is what I'm gonna do.
Try going off somebody else's shit, you're not gonna do good.
Exactly. And then you go out there and you regret it, and you're like, oh, why did I listen to that guy? Because people do it on purpose to put you off.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone that's watching this video can hit that subscribe button.
Listen to you. Listen to you. You got it all laid out.
And whoever's here in LA, San Diego, has got to come out with Andre. I'll put up all your details on the video as well, mate. I really appreciate it.
That, dude. I really appreciate that too, but you got the whole little rundown about how to say it. So you guys go ahead and hit subscribe and leave a comment. That helps out the channel a lot.
The winner of the prize pack has been picked through a random YouTube comment generator. The winner is Miss Keen 8701. Contact me through socials or through email. Congratulations, mate. Now don't go anywhere, because in this next video I'll go in depth about how to choose the correct line for your fishing. I'll see you all there.